that two adoptive parents in Florida locked their 10-year-old twins inside a bathtub for years, starving and tormenting them in secret, until one twin was found lifeless, weighing only 35 pounds in a chemical-soaked nightmare. Their names were Nubia and Victor Barahona, twins who thought they'd been rescued from foster care. Instead, their new home became a prison of pain. For years, Jorge and Carmen Barahona locked them in a bathtub for hours, sometimes days, beaten with belts and starved until their bones showed through their skin. No school, no light, just water, soap burns and silence. Windows were covered, the house reeked of chemicals, while neighbors saw a smiling family inside the twins were fading away. By 2011, Nubia's tiny body could no longer take it. She weighed only 35 pounds. Jorge wrapped her in plastic, poured chemicals over her, and drove off with Victor still alive in the truck beside her. But when a highway worker noticed the strange smell and the crying boy, everything unraveled. Inside the truck, they found Nubia's remains, and Victor burned and barely breathing. The story horrified Florida and exposed a broken adoption system that failed to protect them despite repeated warnings and complaints. Investigators learned the abuse had gone on for years: starvation, beatings, isolation, all hidden behind church smiles. Jorge Barahona was sentenced to life in prison. Carmen was declared mentally unfit for trial. Victor survived, but the scars told the story his sister could not. Reporters called it the Bathtub Twins case, one of the most disturbing child abuse stories in U.S. history, and one haunting question still remains: how could anyone turn the promise of adoption into a house of horror?
Did you know a sniper once killed an enemy by shooting through their own scope? Carlos Hathcock crawled through Vietnamese jungle for 3 days to reach his target. He lay motionless in enemy territory, fighting off insects and dehydration. His most famous kill took 4 days of patient stalking. An enemy sniper was hunting American soldiers through the trees. Hathcock spotted a glint of sunlight reflecting off the enemy's scope. He had one perfect shot. The bullet traveled straight down the scope's tube. The lens exploded directly into the sniper's eye socket. Hathcock finished with 93 confirmed kills. The North Vietnamese placed a $30,000 bounty on his head. They called him the White Feather.
In 2019, a family checked into an Airbnb in Florida and noticed a tiny black lens hidden in the smoke detector. They opened it and found a live camera streaming straight to someone's phone. Police discovered the host had recorded more than 40 guests, including children. He put cameras in clocks, air vents, even phone chargers. When they arrested him, he said,
"I only watch them when they slept."
Airbnb banned him, but detectives say there are still thousands of hidden cameras out there. Would you check your room tonight?
This is a true story. In 2016, a McDonald's night shift worker experienced something chilling. It was a quiet shift, the kind that drags on forever. The fluorescent lights hummed softly, and the fryers hissed in the background. Around 2 in the morning, a customer entered. He was drenched from the rain, his eyes hidden beneath a hood. The worker greeted him, but the man said nothing. He just stood there, staring at the menu. Minutes passed, and the silence grew thick. The worker felt uneasy, but he shook it off. Maybe the man was just tired or lost. Finally, the man lifted his head, revealing a face that seemed strangely familiar. The worker's heart skipped a beat. He had seen that face before, in a news report about a recent murder suspect. Panic surged through him, but he kept his composure. He took the man's order, trying to act normal. As he prepared the food, his mind raced with fear. What if this man was dangerous? He glanced at the clock, hoping for his shift to end. When the order was ready, he handed it over with trembling hands. The man took the bag, nodded, and left without a word. The worker watched him disappear into the night, heart pounding. Later, he learned the suspect was caught nearby. That night, he realized how close he had been to danger, a memory he would never forget. It was a chilling reminder of how the ordinary can turn terrifying in an instant.
gang of clowns once terrorized a small town in the 1960s. It sounds like a horror movie plot, but it's a true story that unfolded in the quiet streets of a Midwestern town. Picture this: a group of criminals dressed as clowns, using their disguises to rob banks and evade the police. This bizarre and terrifying tactic allowed them to blend into crowds, turning the town's festive events into a perfect cover for their heists. These clowns were not the kind you'd find at a birthday party. They were skilled, organized, and left no trace behind. The town was paralyzed with fear, parents keeping their children indoors, while local authorities struggled to crack the case. Their colorful costumes and painted smiles masked their sinister intentions, making it nearly impossible to predict their next move. The clown gang's reign of terror lasted several months, until a brave witness finally stepped forward with a crucial piece of information. This led to an intense police operation, resulting in the gang's capture. Imagine the relief when the masks came off, revealing the faces behind the terrifying facade. This eerie chapter in history reminds us that truth can indeed be stranger than fiction. Who would have thought that laughter could hide such darkness? Follow me for more intriguing tales like this one.